this video, I'm going to close a reporting period. So I've logged into AmpliFund and I selected my grant. So I'm on my award details page. So I'm going to go ahead and click Post Award, Management, and Reporting Periods. Before you close the reporting period, you will need to enter in the expenses. So I'm going to click the plus icon in the top right. I'm going to select expenses, and I'm going to select the time period that I want for that reporting period. So I want this first one. I'm going to click Save. If you have reporting periods for time periods before you had an expense, you could always open one and close it without a expense in that reporting period. So here's my time period. Here's my overall expense details section. You can see how much I've been awarded and how many expenses are in this time period. It says 12,000. And then if you look at number of unreviewed expenses, it says 1. And we actually want that to be 0. So what that is saying is that we have an expense and the expense status is not marked as reviewed. So we want to go ahead and change that before we close this reporting period. If you have any comments, you can put them here. They're optional. And you don't need to put your source documentation on this reporting period because it should actually be on each individual expense. And then don't worry about this expenses analytics section. It is not applicable to us. And don't worry about this budgeted amount. That is also not applicable to us. We're just concerned about the total amount. This is going to be the category that all those expenses are in. We are not done yet because we're going to go ahead and fix this number of unreviewed expenses. So I'm just going to go ahead and click Save, and I'm not going to click Close yet because we are not done. So I'm going to click Save. So I'm going to click the reporting period tab up here. If you click the 1, it will link to where we're going, but I'll show you one thing first. So here's my list of reporting periods, and you can see that this one is still open and it's not closed yet. We're going to fix that expense. Go to expenses, go to post award, financial expenses. I'm going to go ahead and click run. I could go ahead and change the time frame to the same thing that was in that reporting period if you have a bunch of expenses. My example here is just overly simplified, so I only have 3. But you can see my expense status. You do see this, this expense that is only marked new, and it's not marked as reviewed, so it was not pulling in. Because the expenses that we're pulling into that reporting period was this top one for $5,000 and the bottom one for $7,000, and that's how it got that $12,000 amount. So I'm going to go ahead and click Edit. And I'm also going to change, I'm also going to add a description because if you don't add a description, it just says expense. Make that viewed. And let's see if I have source documentation in this one too. I don't, so I'm going to go ahead and add that. This 4512. Click Save. Now that they're all reviewed, I'm going to go back to that reporting period here. So get there, I just went post award, find management reporting periods. Here's my list. I'm just going to reopen this. It's not closed yet. And there we go. So now it added those $3,000 back in. And my number of unreviewed expenses is now 0, which is exactly what you want. It's my 15. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. After I close this, it's changing all the expense statuses to closed, which means I won't be able to edit them. So I'm going to refresh this. So now my expense statuses are now closed, and I don't have that edit pencil anymore because I won't be able to edit it. If you had made a mistake and forgot something, like forgot source documentation on something, or decided this cash match and your grant funds was incorrect, you'll need to notify your program manager so they can reopen a reporting period that we just closed. Although, if you forgot an expense that is going to be in this reporting period of, in this case, March to August, if you enter it now and you close the next reporting period, whenever that happens, it will roll up into it. So next time, let's see, the next one would be September to the following year. If I had a really old expense, it would get rolled into the next reporting period. So it's not like you won't be able to get reimbursed for that. If you're going to do that, it will be, let's see what the next one was. Be August to February. So just be in that one.